Mason and Eric Reiner. We're here with Across the Board, coming to you this Sunday to bring you some of the latest in the week's antics around the world.
And I noticed you have a new background there. Very patriotic.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah, I got my Harris
What's the
bumper
hat say?
sticker thing that says, "We're not going back. We're not going back." This I think is self-explanatory.
I
Bring
can't
it
read
in
it.
closer if you need me to.
Uh-oh.
It's the old middle finger and you know who shall name nameless. And then my "Don't tread on my lady" parts. I love that one. And over here we
Sometimes you want
have
people treading on the lady parts.
American Psycho. Well, not in the manner that the GOP wants to.
Oh, okay.
Which
Yeah.
affecting my bodily autonomy. I want my right to bodily autonomy. You have a right to full bodily autonomy. Nobody questions you with any choices that you make about your body, Eric, as a male in the United States of America. But me, if I want to make a choice about my body, all of a sudden there's all kinds of questions. Wait a minute. There is a question for you if you want to alter your genetic makeup, if you want to alter your gender.
I've been thinking about that a lot lately.
There's a question. There's a question.
I wouldn't even know where to start.
Would you go with Erica?
Why not? It's the easiest route.
It would be the easiest transition, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I was on the phone with Amazon earlier speaking to an Erica.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they didn't deliver my package.
Transgender Erica?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so, the big headlines, this one caught me off guard this week, Eric. Exploding pagers. Okay, I didn't even remember that. I didn't realize pagers were even still in circulation, let alone being utilized. And, and they're blowing up. This is, it's a very, very touchy subject when you're talking about Israel and Gaza.
Yeah, we're talking about Hezbollah and how the Israelis are extremely patient people. They said this took decades to put this plan into action. They call it a red button. What do they call it? A red button attack or something like that? Because they just push one button and boom. And so they had, I guess the pages were made somewhere in Taiwan.
That, the skill in setting that up and the long time waiting. And here's the other thing. Why did it take them so long to do this? Why didn't they do this on October 8th a year ago? That's what I'm wondering, because maybe that would have spurred the release of the hostages without the deaths of, 40,000 to 60,000 Palestinians now.
It's a horrible thing.
It's horrific. It's tragic. And, while I have empathy for many of the Palestinians, I also am apprehensive to have too much empathy, because these people allowed Hezbollah and terrorists to build tunnels and infrastructure beneath their homes, hospitals, schools, places of worship, and they support these terrorist groups while claiming to want a two-state solution. You can't support terrorism and say you want a two-state solution and say you're working with the Israelis to create that two-state solution. But as far as a two-state solution, my opinion is that's BS to begin with. I don't think that they ever wanted a two-state solution. I think that they wanted to remain in Israel as a thorn in Israel's side. I think if the Arab world really wanted the Palestinians to have their own country, a homeland, they would have carved out a piece in the Middle East, which is like huge in comparison to this teeny tiny sliver, which is Israel.
Well, it kind of makes you wonder what other devices they've put bombs in that that the Palestinians may have. I guess we'll have to wait and see if anything comes from any other gadgets. But
That
you
was
know, the
that
last
was
time I had
pretty
a pager,
sophisticated, but low tech sophistication. It was
right?
wild.
I mean, the sophistication was in the amount of time that they put into it, really. But I mean, the last time I had a pager for my business years ago. I think it was the late '90s. That was the last time I had a pager. But
You know, and
I guess
speaking of what's happening in Israel and Iran and Lebanon, there has been a growing anti-Semitism around the world, including in Germany. Recently, there was an election in Germany where it went to the more leftist party, but they are noticing a very, very prevalent rise in the right. And that's been happening globally since 2016, really. You know, with Brexit and the rise of Donald Trump and you know this fascist mentality that has really been being pushed globally by certain parties in the right wing, and there's a lot of it that's coming out of Russia that they're finding the troll farms in Russia.
well, we promised to keep this one shorter today. So, did you have anything else to say about the pagers other than who the hell uses pagers anymore? Other
No,
than as an
basically that
explosive
was
device?
I was really caught off guard by the fact that they were using pagers, but that was very sophisticated, knowing that you know that Hezbollah was still
Well,
utilizing
it's
that
on this.
technology.
There's a Reuters article about it. It's called the article is called "Who Uses Pagers Still." But they say it's the cheapest and most efficient way to communicate to a large number of people about messages that don't need responses. That sounds like something like terrorists would use.
Yeah, well,
I
because all
mean,
you have to do is carry out orders.
and you can just put in like number codes for different things. That's what I used to do. I ran servers, and I had my servers all set up so that if one of them went down, I would get an alert on my pager with a number code, and I would know which server was down.
I
So
understand.
that's what I
We
used
ran a
it for.
security company with pager.
That's what you
That's
have
a
a
story
security
for
company.
another time.
All right.
Okay, next subject though.
Is women's healthcare. We were kind of just talking about
Yes.
that.
Yeah, quite literally, women are now dying in America for lack of health care when it is easily accessible if the doctors weren't afraid of going to prison for performing certain medical procedures,
Yeah,
life-saving medical procedures.
where was that girl at? Was that in Texas? Where was that? The girl that died with the 6-year-old son?
Shoot,
And
I'm
nobody
not
would. She had a
sure which.
bad infection, and it had something to do with, from what I understand, parts of the fetus. She had like a miscarriage, but parts of the fetus were still in her,
It
and
required
she.
a DNC.
Yes, and
Which is a procedure that is done to remove the parts of a fetus.
right.
Yeah, and doctors are now afraid of performing this very common procedure. What was a common procedure before? Very safe, and actually safer than having a child. It's
And so
a DNC is safer than childbirth.
So they let her die because they tried to take care of her, but it was too late. I mean, I guess at some point one of them got some testes on him and decided to perform the operation, but it was too late. And now they've left a 6-year-old child, motherless. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and that's only one of the cases. That's just one, but it's happening all across the United States. And the fact of the matter is, you are 14 times more likely to die from childbirth in the United States of America than from an abortion. But yet, hey,
So, I mean, even if Harrison Walz gets back in here, we've got the Supreme Court that's stacked in GOP, corruption favor. And do you think it's possible that Roe versus Wade will be back if they get elected?
If a Democrat is put in office, when Kamala wins, and when
I like that attitude.
when we take over both the Congress and the Senate, because that's how we need to have it in order for this to get done, we will have laws passed that provide for women's bodily autonomy. And this is beyond just abortion. This is women's health care. This is about our health care, and it's about bodily autonomy. We cannot be fully equal to men in this country without full bodily autonomy.
There's still people out there trying to take the vote away from women.
And you know what? That's part of what's going on with this proof of citizenship nonsense in the GOP's bill. People think it's just about immigrants. This is actually also a way to eliminate women from voting. There are a lot of married women who don't own a passport, who didn't get their information updated. And if you go to register to vote, if your new driver's license doesn't match your birth certificate because you changed your name on one, but your birth certificate doesn't match, you could be removed from voting. So this is not just an attack on immigrants. This is not about preventing immigrants from voting. It never has been, because that is a fallacy. Immigrants do not vote. They are afraid to go vote. This is it called the SAFE Act? Is that what they're calling it this time? They always find these little names, to pretend
like
that they're worried about something. Yeah,
Moms for Liberty. Yeah. That's a great one.
Right, yeah.
All they want to do is take away your liberties.
It just amazes me how dumb people are. The fact of the matter is, every single right, freedom, and liberty that Americans enjoy was fought for and won by liberals. Conservatives fought against every single one, including the right to vote. And they're still working on trying to remove the right to vote, because when more people vote, Democrats win. So they want less people voting. That's just a simple fact. The more Americans that vote, the more Democrats win. The less people that vote, the more Republicans win.
So go out and vote for FFS.
For the sake of America. Yeah. But yes, that is part of that plan. It is not about preventing immigrants from voting. That is really not happening. Immigrants are afraid to go in and vote. They don't want to do anything that's going to draw attention to themselves to get them deported. They want to be here. So why would they do something that stupid? This is about attacking people, low-income people, who generally have less access to the items that Republicans want you to present in order to vote and register to vote.
Okay. Now on to the ever going drama of Trump and his assassination attempts. How many times do we got to go through this?
The second assassination attempt of the rapist golfer, as I'm now referring to him.
Then there was the news that there was at one of his rallies there was explosives found in a car, but apparently that wasn't true. Did you hear about that one?
No, I didn't even hear about that one.
That was another one. But one of my coworkers came up and said, "Hey, did you hear they found a car with explosives near the Trump rally?" But I looked it up, and the Hindustan Times online.
Oh, okay. That one's a really reliable.
The Hindus have got the papers, their news down pat. So, second assassination.
Did you also hear about Trump's choice? His pick for North Carolina Governor, Mark Robinson.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Issues.
And then,
what is it with these? The more outspoken they are against the LGBTQ community, the more likely they are to be found having something to do with sexual acts with someone who is LGBTQ.
Listen, here's the problem with Trump. Trump never vets anybody. He'll endorse anybody that says they love him. That's all it takes. And
That's so true.
as soon as they say he loves them, they're all in, and they're
Yeah,
on his
he's all,
team. He doesn't
yeah.
care to vet them. He doesn't have any reason to vet them. All he knows
No,
is that they love him, so he's
they're,
going to go with it.
that's right. He has only one rule. You must have
You must be
total
loyal to him.
fealty to me. You must have
Yes.
total fealty to me, and you must repeat whatever crazy crap that I say, like that Laura Loomer. Yeah. Oh my
I
God.
mean, do you think they're
Don't you
dating?
just want to wet her lips and stick her to something?
Yeah, like a hot stove.
I swear she does. She looks like you could just wet her lips and stick her to a window or something.
Do you think he's actually banging her?
I don't know that he can. You think he can still get it up?
I don't know.
mean, that little drooping.
I mean, I guess I shouldn't have brought it up.
Yeah, man, dude.
I'm getting nauseous.
We don't want to hurl over here.
So the second assassination attempt, there was no bullets fired except from the Secret Service. They're the only ones who fired any rounds.
Right. It's a good thing that there wasn't anybody else around, any innocent bystanders. When they, started shooting. Well, did they really have to?
And of course, the meme that's out there now is that Trump was supposedly reported as just going golfing last minute. So how did the guy know he was going to be there? That's the meme that's going around now. The memes they're all true, right?
Of course. Look, I'm not one of those people that goes, it's a false flag. They're, putting this out there. Honestly, I think he's starting to get paranoid about this shit. All these people trying to kill me, and they're supposed to be my people. The kid, the white male Republican, this guy, white male, and I can't decide his affiliation. He's the guy's all over the place, but he was over there in Ukraine
trying to help.
Yeah, and I think that the reason he went after Trump was his anti-Ukraine stance that he's been, he's pro-Putin.
Yeah, sure.
Although he hasn't been openly anti-Ukraine, he's been openly pro-Putin. So, and he's not, it's like he would love to end the war by just giving Putin what he wants.
I could end the war with one phone call.
Yeah. So I'm just going to give Putin what he wants, and we'll end this war. It's like, well, okay, then give Hezbollah what they want, and we'll end that war too. How about that? Hey, how about we end the immigration issue and we just give Mexico Texas? I like that plan a whole lot.
I live in Texas. Although I'm very far from the border.
It could be Mexico, Eric. You could be living in Mexico instead. Just think about that.
Well, you know what? There's beachfront property. No, that's the new thing he's saying about the oceans rising. We're going to have more beachfront property.
Yeah, you're adding miles of beach land and all kinds of incredible resources.
You're losing land, but you have more beachfront, as the land gets covered with water. So that's all Trump thinks about is real estate. Oh, look at him. I'm going to have more beachfront property to sell. To rip people off with, but anyway,
there is nothing that goes through that guy's brain that is not transactional, and that includes his relationship with his own family members and his children.
Wife.
It's all transactional. Everything is transactional with him.
And now he's got the new Bitcoin there, not Bitcoin, but a new cryptocurrency coming out that his two knucklehead sons are somehow involved in, and they've
I thought it was the coin. He's selling the new Trump coin.
That too, yeah. He's got the new silver Trump coin, that he designed. He designed, right. Like Trump knows how to use Photoshop.
Help this billionaire pay his legal fees that he caused, from violating the law.
That's the only coin his face will be on, because as soon as he's gone, we will make sure that his images of him have been struck down on everything. But anyway.
That segues nicely into our next topic, which is the claims.
I just want to say one thing. If you're thinking about doing something stupid like these other two guys tried to do, don't do it, because they're going to catch you. They're going to probably kill you. The second guy wasn't killed, but the first guy got shot in the head, and that's what happens.
And we don't need Trump to be a martyr.
No,
You know,
no way. No. That would make things so much worse. So
exactly.
leave him alone. Let him lose in
Yeah.
the election.
Yeah, let him go to court, let him go to
Let him
prison, let
rot
him
in
be
prison.
sued into pennilessness.
He's
That's
already
what I want.
penniless. He's already
Yeah,
penniless.
I want him to be driven into complete and utter misery. That's
Yes,
what I want.
from his own
That's his
actions.
prison. Yeah.
From
So,
his
but
own
the
actions.
yeah, that, like I said, that segues nicely into the next topic. That is people claiming that we have a poor choice of candidates. Oh, we only have these two choices.
Well,
Oh,
it was
I'm like,
almost true. It was almost, listen, it was almost true when it was Biden and Trump, two very old men.
yeah, but
And
still, you had a clear option of
right,
good
yeah,
and
but still
bad. I
Biden,
mean,
Was by far the best choice because he actually knows
well,
what he's
you know
doing.
what? He could be drooling in, just and he'd still be the better choice. I mean,
Yeah.
hands down, the better choice than a rapist golfer.
A
You
rock
know,
would be a better choice.
a turd covered in maggots. Well, that is what
Well,
Trump
that
is.
is what he is. Yeah, you're describing him. So anyway, he's the orange turd. That's what I
Oh
refer to him
my
as.
God, the maggot covered
But
slime that
now that we have
it's
Kamala,
not even the fecal matter, it's the slime.
not
It's the
even
slime.
now that we have Kamala, though, we have a really good choice. And
That's an excellent choice. Someone who is she has a degree in political science, a degree in economics, a
she's a
juris
lawyer.
doctorate, her juris doctorate, and here, the other guy, the rapist golfer, is threatening to sue any educational institutions that divulge his academic record.
Yeah,
Wait a
and
minute, what?
that's because there isn't one, or not a
Well,
good one.
and he refuses to debate her again, claiming that it's too late. Well, he did debates in October with Hillary in 2016, and he did debates with Biden in October in 2020. So it's BS about not wanting to do another one because it's too late. He got slam hammer knocked down, old butt keister drop kicked in the debate that he had with Harris. And he is just too terrified to go up against her again because, I mean, when did he get? They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. What the fuck? I mean, yeah, he got lambasted and righteously so.
Well, we talked about that last week here on Across the Board, but
Oh yes, we did. But it's always good to come back to that one. I still cannot believe those words were uttered during a national debate that he actually
I mean,
went there. He was so desperate.
but it started with his rallies and worked somehow rambled into when she told him he didn't have any people at his rallies and they were leaving early and they're bored.
Oh yeah,
and he couldn't let that go, and
he couldn't handle it. No.
And it turned into they're eating dogs and cats somehow, but that's just how his mind worked. And he calls that the weave. It's a genius where he talks about many subjects all at once, and then he brings them all together in the end.
Oh, and then JD Vance is trying to justify the lie by claiming that they brought attention to Springfield, Ohio.
Yeah, he admitted that they made it up because how else are we going to get attention? So
yeah,
anyway.
how else? We have to lie in order to get attention to things, even though it brought bad attention, negative attention, and caused violence and chaos. But
but that was the last thing we were going to talk about today because we're trying to keep these a little shorter. But we do have some cool news. I don't know. It's cool to me. I know it's cool to you. I noticed you bought a mug. We do have schwag now. We have across the board schwag, and we're selling it. I'll put the link to our store in the description. We have hats. We have shirts. We have mugs, as I said. We even have.
Oh yes, that's what I got. Was that black ATV across the board coffee mug? Because I dig a good coffee mug. I love coffee mugs.
I'm running out. I keep breaking mine. I have to get a new one. But
I had to eliminate a few in my cabinet to make space for my new one that's coming.
Yeah, I bought a hat. So as soon as that gets here, you'll be seeing me wear it.
All right.
Yeah, so very cool. So the link will be in the description. If you feel like if anybody actually watches this, More than, I think it was, last time I looked, we had like 34 or 35 people in the last stream.
Yeah, we had the views. I think it was like 45 views the last time I checked.
So you must have checked more recently than I did. I checked like 3 or 4 days ago. But
yeah.
I don't know if I'll be doing it this Sunday because I have family coming into town.
Oh, can we do it Saturday?
Yeah, we can do it. I'm going to be with her Saturday and Sunday and Friday and Monday. So
maybe we can record on Thursday or something.
We could do that.
Early recording.
And then I'll schedule this to go up automatically at a certain time and day. You can do that, you know. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. So but this is probably all stuff that we should discuss after.
Really?
We wrap this up.
Yeah, you really don't want to let people know our strategy. It's just like we're being very transparent, Dee Dee, just like Project 2025.
Extremely Project 2025.
We're putting it up. We're putting it up online for everyone to know about.
Yeah, you know what? It's good news. Harris is beginning to pull ahead in the polls. She's 5% ahead, but that is not cause to breathe, people.
No.
This is an electoral college situation, and even though we're doing great in the polls, and we should win, righteously so, and she could even win by 7 million votes.
The only way we're going to lose is if the elections are rigged.
Yeah, you got to vote. I don't care what the polls say. Get your butt out there and vote.
For sure. Don't get complacent.
Vote. No, do not be complacent at all. Do all you can while you can to make sure everybody gets out there and vote. Have those difficult conversations. I have been having them, and they're difficult.
No,
but
I've got the same conversation, but I can't convince some of my people to vote Harris. They just want to vote Trump, and I don't understand why can't they see what a psychopath the man is. Why can't they see that?
It is extraordinarily difficult to stomach when you see people that you care about and that you know are otherwise really smart, voting for a guy who wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire unless they were wearing a MAGA hat.
Or unless, as he peed on them, money came out of their pockets.
Now, the guy would not, if he wouldn't skip a meal if it meant eating his own children.
That's a good one. That I'd like to see. Can we see that?
He would not go hungry. That guy would not. He would eat his children before he'd go hungry.
Well, it's funny. It's funny how
they're eating their children. They're eating their sons. They're eating their daughters
and their grandchildren.
Their grandbabies. They're eating the babies.
All right. Well, I will try to. We're going to have to pre-record something for Sunday, and then I'll just program it to go up on Sunday. So we'll do it on Thursday. I'll be home all day on Thursday. We can get it done.
Okay. All right. We got to be better prepared next week, though.
Why? What did we do wrong? Did I do something wrong, Dee Dee? What did I do wrong?
I think we weren't prepared. We need to be better prepared.
Well,
preparation.
I'm busy all week. We're somewhat prepared. All right. Well, anyway.
And you get a tan. You're very pale.
No, I'm not going in sun.
Some color, dude.
I will not get in the sun. I've had cancer, and I will not get cancer again.
Okay. All right.
My doctors told me do not go in the sun. They said even if you're going out for 2 seconds, put on sunblock. And I'm not putting on sunblock. So it's just easier not to go in the sun.
Okay.
So I look like a vampire. I know. I can't help it. But I'm not young anymore, Dee Dee. I used to hang out on my boat in the summer in the lake.
I remember. I was there.
Yeah, we would all, you, me, and lots of other people would hang out at the lake and bake in the sun.
Yeah. Those were the days. Anyway. All right, so we're signing off. It was a quick one this week. I think that, going forward, we need to maybe pick like 2 topics and really get in depth versus, just rushing.
It's a work in progress. We've just started and we're trying to figure it out, I mean, everybody who does this has, taken, a couple years to get their process down. So we will do the same.
Well, and anybody who's watching, if you want to offer suggestions, constructive criticism is welcome. Nastiness, you can bite your tongue.
Well,
I told Tom.
there's bound to be nasty comments because the Trumpers will find videos like this and they will say things on the comment section. I didn't notice if there was any comments on the last one. Did you?
You know what? I don't think I saw any comments.
All right, good. If you don't have anything nice to
far.
say, then don't say it. All right.
Like
Well,
Thumper's mother says, if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all.
oh, I thought my mother said that. My grandmother said that. All right. I'm Eric Rainey.
I'm Dee Dee Asen.
We'll see you next time. Across the board.
Across the board.